Shri Ganesha Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha Uttaram Yat Samudrasya Himadreschaiva Dakshinam Varsham Tad Bharatam Nama Bharati Yatra Santatihi. Welcome to all for this session on Skanda Purana to chapter 14 of Kaumarika Khanda under the Maheshwara Kanda. In the previous chapters, Narada was explaining the story of King Indradyumna and finally ended the story by mentioning how Indradyumna installed the Indradyumneshwara Linga near the confluence of Mahi with the ocean, and whoever visit and have the darshan of this Indradyumneshwara will become a Shivagana as promised by Shiva himself. Listening to this story from Narada, Arjuna got much more interested to know about the greatness of Kumaranatha or Kumaraswamy or Subramanya. O great sage, Arjuna asked Narada, I wish to hear about the greatness of Kumaranatha, which was mentioned by you in another context. I wish to hear about it in detail. Then Narada narrated, it was after slaying Taraka, the son of Vajranga, that Lord Guha installed this linga, O Phalguna, O son of Pritha. There is no doubt about this that Kumaresha dispels all the sins through direct visits, listening to the stories, meditations, and worships and salutations through the Vedic mantras. Then Arjuna asked him, this story is very miraculous. It is destructive of sins. Relate this in detail and truthfully, O Narada. Who was this Daitya Vajranga? Of what power and efficacy was Taraka? How was he killed? How was Guha born? How did the linga named Kumareshwara came to be installed? What is the benefit from this linga? Speak this in detail to me. Narada replied to him, after bowing down to Kumara, the commander in chief, and to Ishvara, listen with concentration, O son of Pritha, to the great story of Kumara. The Prajapati named Daksha was a mind born son of Brahma. He begot of Virini 60 daughters, O Palguna. He gave 10 daughters to Dharma, 13 to Kashyapa, 27 to Soma the moon god, and 4 to Arishtanemi, and 2 each to Bhuta, Angirasa, and Krishashva. Listen to the names of these sisters as well as the co wives from me. I mean, those sisters who married to a common husband, they become co wives. Three worlds are filled with their progeny Bhanu, Lamba, Kut, Bhumi, Vishwa, Sadhya, Marutavati, Vasu, Muhurta, and Sankalpa were the wives of Dharma. Listen to their sons. Indrasena, a bull among Devas, that means a prominent among the Devas, was the son of Bhanu. Vidyota was son of Lamba. From him were born Stanayatnasu, and Shakata was the son of Kakut, from whom the son Kikata was born. From that is Bhumi, Durga, Swarga, and Nanda were born. Vishwe Devas were born of Vishwa. They call them Vishwe Devas are progenyless. They do not have any further offsprings. The 12 Sadhyas were born of Sadhya. Ashtasiddhi was their only son. Marutwan and Sujayanta were born of Marutwati. People with perfect knowledge call these two by names Nara and Narayana. The 8 Vasus were the sons of Vasu. Muhurtakas were born of Muhurta. To all living beings, the Muhurta, bestow the respective benefits of acts done during their own periods. Sankalpa was the son of Sankalpa. Kama was born as the son of Sankalpa. Surupa gave birth to 11 Rudras. They were named as Pali, Pingala, Bhima, Virupaksha, Vilohita, Ajaksha. Shasana, Shasta, Shambhu, Shambha, and Bhava, the last one. Other attendants of Rudra are remembered as sons of Virupa. Swadha, the wife of Prajapati Angirasa, gave birth to Pitras. Shani or Shachi gave birth to the Holy Lord, the son Tharvangirasa. Archis and Dishana were the two wives of Krishashva, whose sons were the groups of missiles and their samhara, the vitriol, the application of missiles and the returning vitriol of those missiles. Patangi, Yamini, Tamra, and Timi were the wives of Arishtanemi. Patangi gave birth to Patangas, a type of birds. Yamini to Shalabhas, which are locusts, etc. Herons, vultures, etc. Were the sons of Tamra. Aquatic animals were the sons of Timi. Now listen to the names of wives of Kashyapa. They are the mothers of the world. It was from them that this universe was born. Their names are conducive to welfare. Aditi, Diti, Danu, Simhi, Vayus, Surabhi, Arishta, Vinata, Gava, Daya, Pradavasha, Ira, and the two named Thru and Muni. The mothers have been glorified. Adityas were the sons of Aditi. Daityas are glorified as the sons of Diti. Danavas are said to be sons of Danu. Rahu, the planet, is a son of Simhi. A powerful group called Danayu was born of Danayus, and that is also known as Ayu. Cows were born of Surabhi, the Yugandharas, the bulls, full of carriage to which the yoke is fixed, were the sons of Arishta. Vinata gave birth to Arupa and excessively powerful Garuda. The beasts of prey were the sons of Grava. The group called Krodhavasha was born of the lady Krodhavasa. The trees are remembered as the sons of Ira, the serpents are remembered as the sons of Kadru, and the groups of celestial damsels were born of Muni. The heroic Hiranyakashipu and the other son Hiranyaksha, the two sons of Diti, they were killed by Vishnu. Diti, whose sons had been killed, propitiated Kashyapa, the gentle lady requested for the boon of another son of great strength who would kill Shakra or Indra in battle. The Holy Lord granted her the boon, saying, observe restraint and perform holy rites for 1,000 years. On being told thus, she said so, staying at Pushkara with great purity and concentration. While she was practicing these holy observances, the thousand eyed Lord, that is Indra, came there and devotedly served her. He permitted him to render these services when 10 years yet remained for the completion of 1,000 years. Diti, who was satisfied with the devotion of Indra, joyously spoke to Indra. Diti said, O most excellent one among Devas, know that I have more or less completed the holy rite and observances. A brother will be born to you. You will enjoy glory along with him. You will enjoy the kingdom of the three worlds without any obstacle or nuisance. In fact, Diti was getting such a blessed child only for the purpose of killing Indra. However, since Indra gave her a selfless service joyously because of that reason, she blessed him, saying that you can enjoy the kingdom of three worlds along with that son who was expected to kill Indra himself. After saying this, the gentle lady Diti slept during the day with her feet touching her tresses. It was the power of the inevitable destiny that urged her to sleep. On seeing that opportune moment and a loophole, because sleeping with her tresses touching to her feet is considered as a sign of impurity, Indra immediately assumed a yogic form and entered her body. With his thunderbolt Vajra, he the foetus in the belly of Diti into 7 pieces. Maghavan Indra cut each of them further into 7 pieces furiously. Diti woke up on hearing the cries of those pieces of foetus that were being cut by Vajra. That is, he said to Shakra, "It should not be killed, it should not be killed." Shakra told those crying pieces of foetus, Marodhi, Marodhi, that means do not cry. He came out of the belly and stood in front of his mother, that is basically his mother's sister, because mother of Indra is basically Aditi, and Diti is the sister of Aditi. Being frightened, he joined his palms in reverence. He spoke these words to his mother, who was very angry with him. "You slept during the day, O mother, with your feet trampling on your tresses. In the open air you slept for a long time. Your foetus was cut by me. 49 pieces have been made of your foetus by means of my Vajra. They are your sons. Let your words be true. I shall enjoy the glory of fortune along with them. I shall give them abodes in the firmament as long as I am there in the power. Since they were told Ma Rodhi by me, that is, do not cry by me, they shall become they shall come to well known as Maruths. On being told thus, Diti became ashamed, could not reply at all. Indra went along with them. They are remembered as the winds at the extremities of the quarters. Then the sad and dejected Diti said to her husband Kashyapa once again, O holy Lord, give unto me a son who will be the powerful slayer of Shakra and who cannot be killed with the missiles and weapons of the heaven dwellers, because her previous son was not exactly killed but was cut into pieces with Vajra. So she wanted to have a son who cannot be done so. If you do not give me a favorable reply, O Prajapati, know that I am dead. On being told thus, he said to his unhappy and dejected wife, be engaged in severe austerities and perform penance for 10,000 years. When a son named Vajranga will be born to you, his limbs will be adamantine, cannot be cut even with steel. They will be so hard, he will be a righteous man. On getting the boon, a gentle lady went to the forest for practicing penance, performed a terribly severe penance. At the end of the penance, the noble lady gave birth to a son who was unconquerable, irresistible, unvanquishable, and who could not be cut even with Vajra. As soon as he was born, he became the master of all scriptural texts and topics. He said to his mother with devotion, Mother, what shall I do? Thereupon Diti was delighted and said, O dear son, many of my sons were killed by the thousand-eyed Indra. I wish to get adequate compensation for them by getting Shakra being killed. Of course, said he. After saying so, the powerful Daitya went to heaven along with his army. With his arms alone as his weapons, he conquered Shakra or Indra in the battle. Just as the lion drags a small and insignificant animal, he dragged Devendra by his leg and brought him near his mother, even as he was with great fear pleading for the release. In the meantime, Brahma and Kashyapa of great power of penance came there excessively frightened. Brahma said to him, Indra is pleading for the release. Release him, dear son. Of what avail is he? It is said that insulting an honorable man is tantamount to slaying him. He who is released at our instance is indeed dead, though he may be breathing. That means he may be still living, but he is considered as a dead because he begged you for the life. Those who kill an enemy in the battle are not glorified as heroes. Those who release enemies after causing humiliation to their honor and prestige are indeed better than killing him. Just as you carried out the words, the behest of your mother, regarding it to be the most honorable, so also you must carry out the words of your father. Like you listen to the words of your mother, you should also listen to the words of your father. So please release Indra, O dear son. On hearing this, Vajranga bowed down and spoke these words: I have nothing to do with him. Mother's behest has been executed by me. You are the lord of Suras and Asuras and my great grandfather. I shall carry out your directives. O Lord, here Shatakratu or Indra is released. I do not crave for the rulership of the three worlds already enjoyed by Indra, which is like a woman enjoyed by another or like a garland enjoyed by another. So he do not want to enjoy the same world which has already been enjoyed by Indra. What is the essence, or what is it that has come intrinsic worth in the three worlds? Let that be spoken to me. Then Brahma said, there is nothing greater than the tapas or the penance. Tapas is the asset of great men. Everything is attained through penance. You are worthy of performing the penance, O dear son. Then Vajranga said, there will be a great pleasure to me by performing the tapas. Let there be no obstacle in it through your favor, O Lord. He stopped after saying this, but Brahma said, if after abandoning a ruthless attitude you wish to perform penance, O son, with this mind and intellect, the benefit of the whole life has been obtained by you. After saying this, the lotus born Lord created a woman of wide eyes. The lotus born Lord gave her to him as his wife. The grandfather Brahma gave her the name Varangi, one of beautiful limbs. Thereafter, Brahma went to heaven along with Kashyapa. Vajranga went along with her Varangi to the forest for penance. With his hands lifted up, great Daitya stood steady for a period of 1,000 years. His eyes were like the petals of a lotus. He had pure intellect, and he performed great penance. He spent an equal period with face bent down and the same period as an aspirant, performing penance amid 5 fires. He did not take any food. He performed a terrible penance. He shone as a mass of penance. When he spent a period of 1,000 years underwater performing the penance, when he went under water, his wife, an extremely chaste woman, stayed on the bank of the same lake meditating about him. She observed the vow of silence without taking any food, thinking that her husband also was without food. Thus the chaste woman performed the penance. While she was performing the penance, Indra scared and terrorized her. He took the form of a monkey, came near her. After piercing her eyes, he urinated and emptied the bowels there. Desirous of causing hindrance to her penance, he tugged at her clothes, shook her face, and made her tresses dishevelled. In fact, whenever the woman of a man is being disturbed, and her disturbance would also cause disturbance to the penance of that Vajranga. Ultimately, Indra's desire is to disturb the penance being done by Vajranga, though Vajranga was nowhere interested in conquering him. Yet Indra do not want him to become more powerful than himself. Then he caused her great pain in the form of a ram. Then, in the form of a serpent, he coiled around her feet. Indra, the ruler of Devas, dragged her far off from that place. Due to the power of her penance, she could not be killed by him. On account of her forbearance, the exalted noble lady did not become angry even very slightly. Then, in the form of a jackal, he defiled the hermitage. In the form of fire, he burned her whole great hermitage. In the form of an extremely terrible gust of wind, he pulled and dragged that auspicious lady. Thus, when he continued his teasing and scaring tactics in the form of a lion, a wolf, etc., and never desisted from them, the wife of Vajranga, that is Varangi, thought that it was the wickedness of the mountain and got ready to curse him. On observing that she was about to curse, the mountain hurriedly assumed the form of a man and spoke to that excellent lady of beautiful eyes. That Shaila, mean the mountain, said, O Lady of great holy rites, I am not vicious. I am a person worthy of being resorted to by all living beings. It is the slayer of Vratra who is angry with you and who inflicts great pain on you. In the meantime, the period of 1,000 years had elapsed. When the time had passed, the lotus born Lord became delighted. Coming to the lake, he spoke to Vajranga. Brahma said, I shall grant you all that you desire, O son of Diti. Get up. On being told thus, the great Daitya, the storehouse of the or the power of with the power of penance, got up and spoke to the grandfather of all the worlds. These words with palms joined in reverence, Vajranga said, let there be no demoniac feelings or emotion in me. Let there be no desire for Shakra's kingdom. Let there be the ardor of our penance, pity, and virtue in me. Let it be so, said Brahma with great surprise in his mind. He treats Shakra with indifference. Who can resist the inevitable future? Sages, men, and devas, beginning with Shiva and Brahma, do not or cannot transgress the future event. Like the great ocean, the boundary of the foreshore, which cannot be exceeded by the ocean, so same way the gods cannot transgress the future event, what is expected to happen sometime later in future. Thinking thus, Lord Brahma vanished there itself. When the penance had been concluded, Vajranga, of steady restraint, wanted to take food, but could not see his wife in his own hermitage. One who is without wife lives in vain. Thinking thus, he looked for his wife here and there. He was desirous of performing the daily rituals and looking for his associate in this world and in the world hereafter, saw her crying. He saw his beloved wife in a wretched plight, hiding her face behind a tree and lamenting. On seeing her, the Daitya said, consoling her, Vajranga told her, O timid lady, who has harmed you? Who has offended you, even as you were performing penance in your own way? Why do you cry, O loss? When I was your husband and am alive, what desire of yours shall I fulfill? O beautiful lady, tell me quickly. If a man does not show affection, caressing the goddess of his own house, the lady of auspiciousness, adorned with all good qualities, the lady who has come to collaborate with him, as in the case of lame man closely cooperating with a blind man, if he does not fulfill her desires, is he a man? I think he is not exactly a real man. Thus saying Vajranga, he was trying to console Varangi, his wife. Thus ended chapter 14 of Kaumarika Khanda under the Maheshwara Khanda, explaining the story of Vajranga. Though he achieved victory over Indra, he had no desire to rule over the three worlds which was owned by Indra. However, he got another son, Taraka, whose story we will discuss in the next chapter. नमस्ते शारदा देवी काश्मीरपुरवासिनि त्वामहं प्रार्थये नित्यं विद्यादानं च देहि मे बाय